So today we will start basically writing an onload client script, on change client script, all those things
Mhm.
in system directly basically. So
Okay.
what I will do, I will create a table so that like it will also clarify like when mostly you will be writing the script. So one thing we seen yesterday was like if we want to modify something which is already there in the system, we may need to find that component and modify. Or maybe on
Mm-hmm.
the existing table due to some new requirement, you may also require to write a script. Now, to practice mm, the client script part, what I will do, I will just create a new table. So you know how to create a table, right?
Yes, yes.
So let me just go. What I will do, I will create a new table. So I will create a new demo table. Okay, so I have just created one new table.
Yeah.
Now if I will click on demo tables, new demo.
Maybe need to reload it.
So I select create modules.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's there. Now what I will do, I will just create one more field here called requested for. Okay, let's say
Okay.
this is a application which is used to request something. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
the requested for should be there. So what I will do, I will just create one field here.
Mm-hmm.
Requested for, and as its user, so I will reference to user table.
Okay.
Like requester can always be a user, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it should be a reference type because all the users are
Yes.
in user table.
Yes.
So a user can be a
Sys underscore user. Mm-hmm.
I will add this field.
Mm-hmm.
Now my requirement is as soon as if let's say here I have this one and when I click on new, the
Mm-hmm.
requested for is not populated, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can submit a new record. Let me edit it. Bit top. I come here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say as a service desk agent open this form and he tries to submit a request for let's say himself only.
Mm-hmm.
So what he need to do, he need to put his name and requested for. Let me make this mandatory as well. Like then only the resolver group can know like to whom this request need to be fulfilled, right? Getting my point?
Yeah.
Here someone's name need to be full. Let's say if I am raising for myself, like I am system admin, if I am raising for myself, I need to fill my name here. Then only the team to which this particular ticket will assign will be able to fulfill, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
if they don't, let's say I am raising it for I need something, I need XYZ something. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so they will try to fulfill XYZ request like it is assigned to let's say ITIL user. ITIL user is
Mm.
going to fulfill this.
Mm-hmm.
Then if I will not fill the correct requested for, then
Suppose requested for.
yeah, it's so yeah, you were saying correctly. It will happen through catalog item only. But here
Mm-hmm.
we are just taking a use case, right?
Yeah.
We are assuming that this particular table or this particular application is to request something, maybe pen,
Mm-hmm.
pencil, or anything. I'm just giving.
Okay.
Okay, so this is an application. Assume it. So actual request fulfillment happen through catalog itself. You create a
Okay.
proper catalog there. So it's just a
Hmm.
generic application. Let's say for an example.
Okay.
So here for any type of request fulfillment, any ticketing system like it's incident, problem change, or whatever, any kind of ticket, we need requester, or in incident we need caller, right? So similarly
Mm-hmm.
here we need this requested for person, right?
Right.
To so that ideal user can come to know like to whom I need to fulfill this request. Now, did
Mm-hmm.
you observe when I open and I try to submit a new request, it is kind
Mm-hmm.
of blank. So means user
Yes.
need to fill his name. So that is kind of
Mm.
we in terms of when we come as a tool in terms of end user, we try to increase the user experience, right? So like
Mm-hmm.
unnecessary, we are asking him like even if he is raising for himself, we are asking him like put your name here. So the client might ask as soon as someone clicks on create new, the
Mm-hmm.
automatically the logged in user's name should populate here.
Okay.
Getting my point?
Yeah.
So that how we can do. We can write our own like when this will happen again from our yesterday's discussion. Before the
On
form is
load.
presented to user. So before the form is presented to user, that means on load client script.
On load. Yes.
Yeah. So what we will do, we will go configure client script and we will write a client script.
And this auto population of this name cannot be done using UI policy, right?
No, UI policy is to hide
Yeah.
uh,
Only for three things.
three things: visible,
Mm.
mandatory, and read only. So let's say
Okay.
I am giving here auto populate.
Populate requested for.
Try to always give a short name and a meaningful name to each and every component.
Okay. Okay.
Now, coming to when you are writing a new client script,
Mm-hmm.
here first you need to give the name. Second, you need to select the table to on which table
Okay.
your UI policy is going to run. So as I have navigated directly through table, the table is automatically selected.
Right. Right.
However,
Right.
if I come through like if I will type here client
Then we
script,
need to enter.
yes. So if I will come here like through client script application,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and
Then we need to enter. Select the table. New demo table.
so then we have to here manually select the table. If I will directly come through the table, that will
Mm.
automatically select it. Now coming to UI type, it's quite important.
Mm-hmm.
UI type desktop is something this UI in which we are currently working. Mobile
Mm-hmm.
service portal means service portal, like service portal, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And all means everywhere. This UI as well as service portal. So there are some times when you need to run the UI policy only on backend UI, not the service portal. So these are for those options. So mostly we select all so that it get
Okay.
applied to backend and front like service portal both side.
Yeah.
Okay. Now type. So all those four types. Now here we want to
On
write
load.
onload. So we will select onload. Now active means this client script is active and it will run whenever you will try to do any transaction on this table. Inherited,
Okay.
this is what, if you remember, we were discussing like all the codes which is written on parent will run to child.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something in the client script. Here, it by default it doesn't run. So let's say you are creating tomorrow a new table which is the child of new demo table.
Mm-hmm.
Like if like you creating a new demo table too, and you are inheriting demo table in that. So that means
Yeah.
new demo table one will be the child of this. So
Yes.
here this inherited says, do you want to run these client script or client script to the child tables of this table? Then you have to mark it true.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, by default, it will not run.
And business rule by default will be
Yes, business rule
selected,
by
right?
default will
Oh,
apply
okay.
to child as well. Now this global thing, this is something views, right? There could be
View
like
self-service view.
self-service view, default view,
Ha ha
ITIL
ha.
view, right? So is there, if there is any requirement you want to run your code specific to particular view of that table, then you can uncheck this global and define the view name. Like if you want to run this only on ESS. ESS
Mhm.
means self-service view. If you want
Yeah.
to run this only on ITIL view, then you can define. If
So is this
globe by
important? I mean, generally we
mm,
select global only mostly.
it's by default global only, and mostly all the script runs on the all the views. But sometimes if you get the requirement, you should like have
Okay.
the knowledge.
Okay.
Like I can write the client script view wise as well. Let's say client says,
Okay.
I want this particular thing should happen when this ticket is opened by ITIL users, means if they open it in ITIL view, but when it is opened in default view, this particular thing should not happen. So you should
Mm-hmm.
know the tool capability, like yes, we can do it, right?
Okay. Okay.
So this was the basic explanation what all. Then here you can give the description, like detailed description, what exactly it will do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now coming to script part.
What
So
is this messages? What is messages? This do we need to write in
uh,
that?
at the moment I am not sure, but it's for giving some
Okay.
message, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
May not be relevant. Yeah.
Yeah. So coming to scripting. So is in scripting, as we were discussing, there are classes, right? So
Mm-hmm.
in scripting, you mostly will be using this G underscore form, glide form class. So all the object, all the functions are available through G underscore form class,
For client script.
client script. So this is the main and
Oh.
important class. So like if I will type everything, if I will try to access how to get a value of variable, set the value of variable, everything will happen through this class G underscore form.
Okay.
So now what I need to do, I need to set the requester value. So what I will do, I will call this class G underscore form, and as soon as you put the dot, it will give you all the
Mm-hmm.
available methods or properties for this class.
Mm-hmm.
So what you can do, you can add a error message, you can add an info message, you can add option clear message. Now what we need to do, we need to set the value. So we will type set, and these are the options available with the set. It will like limit the search as soon as you start typing. So I set
Mm-hmm.
type set. It's saying you can set the display, you can set the label, you can set mandatory a field, you can set read only, you can set the value, you can set visible. So like set visible and set display, both are a kind of same. Okay,
Okay.
and then set mandatory is for setting it mandatory. Set read only is for setting a field read only. Okay, and
Okay.
for here we will use set display.
Set a value.
Sorry,
Set
set
value.
value.
Yeah. Hmm.
Now set value require two things.
Mm-hmm.
One is the name of your field. Like you need to tell this, right? What you want to set or where you want to set.
Okay.
Okay. One more thing I would like you to tell, like
Mm-hmm.
here in scripts, if you will go to a field or table,
Mm-hmm.
any component, here field has two things. One is the label, which is
And
getting displayed on the
yeah.
form, and another is the name, which is the
Yeah. Yeah.
backend
Right.
value, like
Right.
database
Which
label.
system understands. Yeah.
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 So in a script, you always use these.
Okay. Name, not
And
label. Yeah.
see, it's simple. You can type as well, but I always prefer to copy it, being
Copy.
even being it
Copy.
simple. So you basically what why it is there, why you copy it. It's simple. You can type it, but it reduces the error chances.
Yes. Yes. So can you tell me, just right clicking on that field will give me that name,
Yeah,
right?
if you will right click and uh, if you will right click and click on this show last option,
Hmm.
then here you will get this field. Yeah, from here you can copy it.
Okay. That show also the same, right? Whatever
Yeah,
is written in front of show.
yeah, but again, here from here you cannot copy. Maybe
Acha.
you it will be
Okay.
difficult. So if you from here you can copy. So
Okay. Okay.
try to copy it and paste it. Like you can
Hmm.
write as well. It's personal choice, but I prefer
Yeah.
to
Better
copy it
copy. Yeah.
because it's not about here you have 2 line 4 line code you can dig like troubleshoot, but when it's 200 300 lines code, then even simple mistake you might not be able to troubleshoot. It may take 2 hours 3 hours or maybe a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So try to minimize your errors in the code. That is the first uh, thing which I would say like you should follow.
Okay.
As minimum, like as you will keep the error in your code will be kind of more chances to work properly, and you
Okay.
need not to spend more time on troubleshooting and all this.
Mm-hmm.
Now what I need to set, I need to set the logged in user. So
Yes.
another function, another class, if you remember we were having, was g underscore user.
Okay.
G underscore user gives us the user level attributes. Okay,
Just
logged in
one thing.
user. Hmm.
In this G underscore form, did we get also the syntax in when we select this set value function? G underscore form that dot set value. I mean, do we understand what all information we need to apply in the brackets? What information we need to
Means
put in the
what we
bracket?
need to pass to this function.
Right. How will we get to know? I mean, through syntax.
I think that is something you need to learn, and by the practice
Oh,
you will get.
okay, okay.
Somewhere, I have seen it displays like what you need to pass,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't see everywhere. Like if I select
Okay, okay.
here, so if I will select. So like here it gives you set the value, it gives you hint, set the value and the display value of the field, display value if
Okay,
there is no
okay.
display value. So it doesn't give what actually you need to pass. You have to like either go to developer API site and find like what I need to pass. I will tell that
Okay,
part as well
okay.
from where you can see that. It
Okay,
will give
okay.
you available functions. So G underscore form was to get the form level attributes or set the form level attribute.
Okay, okay.
Okay. However, if I need to get access or details of logged in user, current logged in user. So like I am logged in the system right now. And if any transaction I will do, who am I, what is my name, what is my role, all those things are also available readily in client script using G underscore user class.
Okay.
So there is a difference. G underscore form gives you form element like name,
Yeah,
form
yeah.
fields, value, setting the form fields value, setting the form field mandatory, giving alert. However, use G underscore user class gives you elements of user, logged in user. So now what I need to do, I need to set logged in user here. So what I will do
First
again,
I'll get the user rate, right?
yeah.
I'll get the user,
So
yeah.
do you know reference field saves the SysID, that logic you know?
Yeah, a bit of it.
Yeah. So when you talk about a reference field in ServiceNow, actually they display the display value of particular tables record. However, they in the backend, they just give you
There is
the
a sys ID, yeah.
sys id of that record, like whatever this record is referring. So if you will go to the user table, there will be a sys id associated to this particular user record, right?
Okay.
So in ServiceNow assigns sys id to each and every record in service system, right?
So even for incident, they will assign one sys ID, right?
Yes, each and
Whatever
every record
incident.
has a sys id. So like this is
Okay.
the sys id for user, although you are seeing the name of user, but if you will try to get what exactly value is saved in database, then you will get this.
So for example, if I have record, right, in user table,
Mhm.
Gaurav, so in that case, I have sys ID as well, right?
Yes, sysID will be saved at the database level. By
Hmm.
ServiceNow, like system level, it doesn't save through the name, because system admin can be multiple, right? Gaurav can be multiple in user table. So if I will try to search from
Yes.
Gaurav, I will get multiple record to whose name I will set here. Like to
Right, right.
system need to understand unique thing, and this is unique.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you will try to Alt J, let me show you what you are seeing here. You are seeing here for the requested for system administrator, right? But if I will try to get the value through script, let's see what it gives me. See, v dot get value. Get value function is used to get the value of a field. Like here, if you see, it is giving me hint what you need to pass.
Yeah, yeah.
G underscore form dot get value, and it is saying like you need to pass the field name,
Mm-hmm.
and that should be a string. Means it's saying you need to pass the field name under the double quotes.
Okay.
String
So
is
double quote will
double quote
always be
means
there or not?
it should be always there, because this
Uh-huh.
function is expecting a string field name. So to
Uh-huh.
make it a string, if you are not putting in double quote, then it will not be treated as a string.
Okay.
Okay. Now what I will do, control X. I will type this code here and I will run my. See, I am trying to get the value of requested for in the real time. And what
Mhm.
script is returning to me? Script will get the value from database. So what it is returning
Yeah.
to me? The sys ID of user.
Okay, okay. How did you get this JavaScript executor here?
It's if you will press Alt, Control, Shift, and J at the same time, then you will get.
1 second, let me write it. Uh, so is this function useful, right? Alt?
Yeah, this is useful. Let's say you want to see what value my this particular field will return when my code will run, like to check.
Yeah, yeah. Alt? What was that?
Alt, Control, Shift, and J all the same time.
J, right?
Hmm.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so now here you need to pass the sys ID of the user.
Yes.
Then only system will be able to identify that user correctly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you are saying on the form, set the value of requested for with what? With logged
Current
in
logged in
user.
user.
So now coming to user function,
Hmm.
what I will do, I will just define a variable like variable user is equal to, I am saying assign the user's value to this user variable. Okay. And what I will
Okay.
do, G underscore
G underscore
form,
user.
sorry, G underscore user dot. Now this function gives me certain handful of information like first name. I will, if I will put here, it will give me the first name of logged in user.
Mm-hmm.
Get full name, it will give me the full name. Has role,
Mm-hmm.
it will give me the role. Like
Okay.
not it will not give me the role exactly if I just wanted to check whether the user have ITL role or not, something like that,
Mm-hmm.
whether the user have admin role or not. So it will be like this. I need to pass you. This is to check whether user have a particular role or not.
Okay.
Okay, this has role function.
So this
Now
G underscore user will basically get all the details in the user table,
it will get
right?
the it will return you all the details of user, logged in user.
Okay.
So according to your requirement, you can use these function. Like somewhere I need to set last name of logged in user. I can directly call G underscore user and get the last name. Now
Okay.
in this
Okay.
case, user ID will be useful for us because user ID
Okay.
is the one which returns us logged in user sys ID.
Okay. Okay.
Now, as soon as this client script will run, this line number 3 will run at the first. And what it will
Mm-hmm.
do, this function will execute. And this once this function will execute, this function will get the sys ID of logged in user and it will pass it to the user variable.
So user will record the sys ID of that logged in user.
This is ID of logged in user. Now what I will do, I will assign this
Copy,
user
paste. Hmm.
to here. Now my line of 5 number is completed. Now it's saying on the form, set the value of requested for with the user. And what is user? Logged in user sys ID.
Got it. So there is no function to be passed for G underscore user dot user ID, right? Like we did for set value.
Mm,
I mean, in the bracket, we have not written, right? For
no,
G
so
and
that's
G.
what every
Hmm.
function has its different parameter, different methods
Uh,
of calling. You need to learn those.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
So that
So
is done, right? This
that
script
is
is
done. Now,
and
once you will
hmm.
save it,
Hmm.
and now if you will go back and if you will create a new record, oh, see,
It will client script ran for this. Okay.
now um, let me create. This was the example of onload. Okay. Now,
Yes.
now you can try other things as well, like how these function you will not be able to learn in a single day. First thing, this is
Hmm.
how you set the value. I have also told you like how to get the value. Okay. Now I will create one more field here.
Okay. So when we do this automation in catalog item, so there also we need to write this client script only, right?
Yes, if requirement is something like this, you have to write there as well.
Yeah.
Client.
Yeah.
Okay, now what I will do to do the on change practical, we will create one more field here, exactly two field here. So
Form
let
layout.
me go to form layout, and here what I will do, I will put like request type. As we are saying, we are using it for the raising a request.
Hmm.
I will say request type. I will add here. I will say sub request type. See what I am showing here as an example. There could be alternative as well for achieving this.
Okay.
Okay. So in ServiceNow, you will find many places. Same thing can be done from two
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
Now it's you need to
Right.
decide what suits for you, what is suitable for your
Uh,
requirement, all those things. So right, I
right.
created this request tab. Let me go to the dictionary.
Hmm.
I will do some choices here. I will say HR. Go back to the form. Now here I got the request type as general HR IT. Okay. Then
Mm-hmm.
I will create sub request type as well.
So this choices we can do it using dictionary, right? Create the choices.
Yes, that is
Okay.
part of admin training, so that's why I'm not
Yeah,
explaining that.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So here, let's say I am creating one as HR application.
Payroll, or I mean, yes, leads, payroll. Yeah.
Okay, so here we got first requirement we already completed. Requested
Mm-hmm.
for is getting populated. Now we got the request type. So let's say I can raise a HR request, or I can raise a IT request, or I can raise general request.
Mm-hmm.
Now under sub request, I got these six choices. But do you see, like, is it correct or relevant? Like when I
No.
select journal, only notepad and pencil should come. Maybe client
Yeah.
requirement could be. If I select HR, these should come.
Okay, currently this is applicable. I mean, sub request is same for all the request type,
all the
right?
requests, right? So client
Okay.
might ask like this kind of requirement you may get like when users like maybe not that similar use case. I'm just preparing one use case. So you may get like uh, field one have certain value, then in field two this should be visible, or maybe field one is having this, then some assignment group should be this, something like that. So we are taking a particular example here. So any kind of requirement you can get like this. So on change of one field, the another field should get changed, or a message should get displayed, or something like that. Getting my point?
Yeah, yeah, got it. But we can also fix it, right? I mean, if suppose someone selects IT, so it will show only relevant subtypes.
Yeah. So how we will do that? So these kind of requirement you may get where on change of first field, the another field should get changed, or some message should come. So on that, these cases, what event exactly happening here? Change, right?
Yes, on change.
It's a change in field. So we will write our client script is of type on change.
Just one question. If
Mhm.
suppose I have this IT as a request type, right?
Mhm.
So using dictionary only, we can just configure that 3 to 4 options, whatever relevant to IT, right? I mean, instead of having six or other subtypes, that we can fix it, right? So under IT, it will show only the IT related subtypes.
So how will you do?
So cannot we do it without this client script?
Like, do you have any idea?
No, for when you are creating subtypes, sub
Mm,
request type,
mm,
right?
mm.
So in there should be some parent category where we need to select, or it is not there.
There is no parent category. If I go to choices,
Okay.
configure dictionary.
Hmm. So I mean, we cannot create subtype for particular parent type. So there is no option like that.
No, subtype, parent type is no. There is one solution that you
Okay.
can achieve.
Hmm.
Okay. But I will tell you after this.
Okay.
There is one solution for achieving this without client script. But in
Mm-hmm.
every case, you might not be able to achieve it.
Okay.
That's why I am just, I have created a use case for demonstrating you on change client script.
We actually got this similar requirement.
Hmm.
Mm, yeah.
Okay. So what I will do, maybe the requirement may tweak. Maybe you get similar kind of
Mm-hmm.
this requirement. So what I am trying to explain you, just preparing a use case and giving you how you can achieve this if you need to
Right.
write
Right.
the script. So I will
Right.
give like control request type. Here again, I will
Mm.
select all, and this is on change. As soon as you will
Yes.
see the select on change, one extra field you will see, which was not on load. That is
Okay.
which field you want to run. So I will select
So
here request type.
request type. Yes.
I will say on the change of request type, I want to do something. Now
Hmm.
here, if you see, there is a lot of things automatically found.
Right. Right.
However, in
Right.
onload, they were not there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to understand about these. So
Okay.
control you might not be using much. It's kind of it's give you full kind of control of the field. Okay, basically I think some I even didn't use much. So it's
Okay.
kind of gives you full inner HTML or something like that. I'm not fully
Mm-hmm.
sure on at this moment. This is very important. Old value, new value is loading, is template. These three you will
Okay.
be using mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Old value is something which gives you the previously selected value in this field. Okay, so
Okay.
let's say what you are changing the field value. Let's say record is already submitted. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
go again. If I open this record, now
Mm-hmm.
I want to set it HR. So
Mm-hmm.
if you observe this situation, there are two things happened. Now it has two objects associated with this field. One previous value, another new value. So what was the previous
Okay.
value? It was none. And
Blank.
what
Yeah.
is the new value? HR.
HR.
So that is what these two objects saves. So if you need to access the previous value of the field in your script, then you can directly get that value from here. You need not to get the previous value with some other things using some other
Okay.
methods. You can directly use this object. It will always store the previous value of that field. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
previously was there before user changed it. New
Hmm.
value will always store the new value of that field. What is the value after user changed?
Hmm.
Is loading is something which controls if you want to run this script on load or not. So on change type of client script has a hidden feature or added feature, I would say.
Hmm.
It can run on load as well.
Okay.
Okay. So why we need to run on load? It's not mandatory you need to run this on load always. There might be situation where your use case uh, says like your scripts on same script should run on load as well as on change.
Okay.
That's why we got this feature here.
But in the current case, we just need on change, right?
We
The
just
current
need on
case,
change.
which
I will
yeah.
explain
Yeah.
when you can run
Okay.
this on load on change. I will just explain this. So it's
Mm-hmm.
something to control is loading. So is loading returns true or false. So if the form is loading, then this particular value will return true. If form is not loading, means form load is completed, then it will return false.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we are controlling to run. So if you see the first loop, which automatically comes, it says is loading. It's first on load, it automatically runs. And the first line, this start executing. And system asks whether the form is loading or not. If form will be loading, this is loading will return true. As soon as this will return true, this is compiler will go inside this loop, right? Because this condition has returned true.
Mm-hmm.
That means I need to go inside this loop. And what is written inside this loop? Return means return from here. Do not run for the code further.
Okay. Okay.
So this is to stop running the on change client script on onload. By default, on change client script doesn't run on onload because this line by default comes. If you want it to run on onload, then you need to remove
Mm-hmm.
this.
Completely right.
Yes. Now,
All three lines we can remove, right? If
no.
as well.
I just removed is loading.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is controlling two things. One, it controls when your form is loading, then you need to run or not. And second thing, when new value is empty. If someone has selected new value as empty, then also it will not run.
Okay. So empty, so there will not be any value, right? Empty. There should be
Empty means
something.
none.
None. Okay. Okay.
Okay. If you
Okay.
want to do something in case of empty, you may remove that one as well. So it's depending upon what use case, what situation you are coming with. You may need to remove both, or you may just need to remove is loading, or you may need not to remove anything.
What is this
Everything
two lines in between before new value? What is that? Or condition,
or
or what is
operator
that?
or operator.
Or operator. Huh.
Okay, so it's saying either form is loading, then or return means do not run the code written from line 5, or if new value is empty, then also do not run.
So return means close, right?
So
There will
means
not be any
do not
further
run
action.
further action. So like the compiler will return from here itself from this code, it will not run further. So if you will write 100 of lines after return, they will not get executed.
So when we are saying if bracket is loading equal to none,
Hmm.
means it is not loading, right?
It's not. See, this is a different condition.
Yeah, this is different. If
This
I
is
say
different.
is loading equal to Okay. That is okay. Completely different. I thought
Yeah.
that. Okay, is
Is
loading.
loading or either this or this,
Okay, okay,
any
okay,
case you need to return. So is loading is a
okay, okay.
Boolean value. It will so compiler will either get true in place
Hmm.
when exact execution of code will start. Compiler will either get true or it will get false.
So when it true, it will go into this code and it will give the return value, and
Return.
there is no
And if it
further.
is
Okay,
false, then it will not go into the code and it will start
got it,
executing the
got
code
it,
from line number 5. When it will be
got it.
false, when the form will not be loaded. Basically, in case
Mm-hmm.
of on change.
Okay, okay.
Now, as we want to achieve this requirement,
Yeah.
so here there is again we need to use the g underscore form class
Okay.
because we want to do something on form.
Form,
Then what we
yes.
need to do, we need to on change of first field, we need to do some changes in another field. So
Mm-hmm.
what is my requirement? If now my requirement, if user select the request type as HR, then here vacation and payroll should come.
Okay.
Now to remove the choices from second field, I need to first check what user has selected in first field, right? So
Mm-hmm.
first I will have to get the value of first field, g underscore
Yes.
form dot get value, because I need to know what user has selected, then only I can take any decision.
Yes.
So I will get the value of which field?
That
This field.
request type.
Request type. Yes, you are correct. So okay. So I am saying get the value of request type. Now
Mm-hmm.
I am saying if get the value of request type, and if it is HR, what
Okay.
choices what choices are there for
Set
this
value.
request type?
Yeah.
For request type we have HR,
This.
journal, and IT.
Yes. So for HR, we just need
Okay.
to. Okay. So you will have another if else loop, right? For
Yeah.
others. Okay.
So again, coming to when we come to choices, there is two things. One is value, another one is label.
Okay. We need to select value.
We need to select value. Here I have given both things same.
Same.
Mostly you will see both
Mm-hmm.
the things same,
Mm-hmm.
but you need to be conscious. You need to always use value in the script.
But how did you come here to see this value and label?
Same. Either you can go to the dictionary of field, configure
Okay.
dictionary,
Okay.
and then under related list you will see, or you can click on show choices. Then you
So
will
choice
directly
list.
see the
Okay.
choices.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Now, what I need to do, I need to get the what value user has actually selected. So I am saying get the value of request type, and if user has selected HR, then
Hmm.
come inside the loop. And what you need to
Yes.
do, you need to
G
just
underscore
keep
form.
you need to just keep two options. That is payroll
Yes.
and vacation. Rest all options should not be there. That means if
Right.
user is selecting HR, I need to remove these four options from this field.
Hmm.
So to remove the option, we have a function or method
G underscore form.
called g underscore form dot remove option.
Okay.
Now it is giving here you hint. Now you need to pass name of field from where you want to remove the option and the choice value.
What we need to remove, right?
Yes. Now which is the field?
Right. Right. Sub request type.
So I will copy the field name.
Hmm.
I will put here and what I need to remove? I need to remove, if I,
Again, the value, right? Choice list we need to go to.
yes. So what I
Choice.
will do, I will click here, show choice list. I need to remove need
Need
land.
LAN, comma.
No. For each line you need to write.
Oh. And can't we do it like g
No.
underscore form dot set value only for the two options instead of
Set
removing? We
value
can
will
just.
set the value, but you need to remove the choices, right? Set
Acha,
value will
acha.
set one of the value, but still choices will be available. User can change, right? And
Okay,
even you
okay.
cannot decide out of two, like payroll or vacation, what user
Got it,
is
got
raising
it.
for the request, right?
Got it,
So you
got
cannot
it.
set. You can give the option to the user, like you can raise these two things.
Yeah, right, right, right.
So you need to remove the extra option. You cannot set.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So when we write these scripts, so uh, how to check if there is a performance issue or not because of these scriptings, or is it okay to write whenever there is a requirement?
Yep, whenever there is a requirement, you have to write, but as part of performance, yes, you should avoid writing as much as you can the client
But
script
if
part.
how can we achieve it otherwise if we don't
Yeah, that's what,
write?
like, if it is a required, then you will have to write, but as much as you code, you can put on server, that is recommended. Plus, even if you are
Okay,
writing,
okay,
follow the best practices. Like
okay.
you are not writing a code which doesn't make any sense. You are writing 10 lines which doesn't even doing anything in your code. So don't run
Uh-huh.
unnecessary code. Now,
Okay, okay.
what I will do
If else.
else, if if what I want, next thing is I will
G
just
underscore form
copy this whole
IT.
thing, Control
Okay.
C. So you need to be smart as well. You will
Yeah,
not
right.
write whole thing again. So what I will
Correct.
do, I will copy this IT part
IT.
here
Hmm.
and I will replace it. And
IT. Then
now what I need to
what are the
remove for
other
IT, I need
other
to
four options?
remove these two. Vacation, I will replace this need LAN with vacation because need LAN should be there now. And
Yes,
payroll,
yes. Payroll and notepad and pencil. Okay, yeah, notepad pencil already there. And yeah, then again another else if. Hello? Hello?
yeah. So
Yeah,
for the next one, what we will do?
another else if.
Yes. Else if
Instead of IT, we'll say general.
general and then,
There is a space. There is a space.
yeah, good point. So there shouldn't be any space.
Yeah.
We need to remove
Remove.
this and this.
Yes, right.
Okay. Now I will save this. I
Do we need
will,
to write any last something in there, or is that code complete?
if you need something else, then you can do it. Like one, what you can do, like if user selects none, means if there is
Hmm.
nothing out of these, then you can like write else at the end. So means you can remove all six.
Okay,
Means
but
what else
we are
could be?
we But we are achieving that in the first line of code itself, right? If
No,
it is none.
no.
No,
None
okay.
we are not achieving, right? Means anyways we are not running it for none. So in case of none, nothing will happen. So if you want on the none everything should get blank, then you have to first remove this one. Getting my point?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
If you want, like if user selects none, then remove all six.
But if we don't write it, but still it will take it, right?
No,
If we
it will
don't
not
write
take.
it there,
It will not do anything. Whatever will be there, it will be there.
it will show, right? Even if
Yeah.
suppose I select none. Okay, okay.
Let me show you. Save it. So if I will create new, see, by default, it's showing me all because there
Okay.
is no script running on none, first thing, like on load.
Hmm.
So it's showing me everything. Now if select HR, see, four
Yeah,
gone.
only two. Yes.
Now if I select,
So if within HR also we have subtype as none, so that we need can remove it, right? Or
no,
not
that
required.
should be there. We want user to select some value. We don't want he should be able to select, like if you have anything as a default value from the client, then you can remove this none.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But we don't have any default, let's say, for this.
Okay, okay. Otherwise it will show the first as a
Yeah,
some other value.
yeah.
Okay.
Now if we select IT, it will not show me because
If
what we did at the first time, we removed two, but we didn't add it in the second case. So we
then
have to do both
how?
the work, add and remove.
Okay. We
G
removed in this form.
like when we selected the first choice, we removed all four, right?
Yeah.
Now when we
Yes.
selected the second choice, did we write any code here to add those two? But in first it was already removed, but here we didn't write to add those two.
Okay. No, but if that is a scenario, if suppose I'm a user, first I'm selecting HR and then IT, right? In the same
Hmm.
at the same time.
Hmm.
So, okay. But if at the first level itself, if I select IT, it will show me the IT
It will
ones
show. First
only.
level it will show, but if you will try to play it with it, right? If
Ah,
I select IT, then first time it will show correctly. But now
yeah.
if
If I
I will
change
select
my
general,
mind, if I change my mind and if I change the request type, then it will show nothing, right?
yes, that is where it will get. So you have to do add and remove both.
Okay.
So here in this case, what I need to do, so there is a function called add option.
Hmm.
If you add option, so this functions takes a lot of things. First thing is the field name,
Hmm.
and then it takes the choice value, I think name, but in our case we have both the same. Like what we need to add here, we need to add vacation query. So the label, we need to pass the label as well as we need to pass the value to add the
Okay.
choice.
Okay.
And then last one is the optional, is the index. It takes four parameter actually.
So that is optional, huh?
That is optional. So it
One
takes
is
four parameter.
every time it is one.
No, you can pass second for second too. Like at which position you want to add your choice.
Oh, okay, okay. Sequencing.
Sequencing, yes. So second thing I need to add payroll. Okay. Similarly, I need to do add option in others.
Okay. Okay. So, so this is always the case. Whenever we remove, we need to add the other options.
Yes, because first time otherwise it will work. From second time it will start
Ah,
breaking.
hmm. And it should also not be the case that loop is running forever, right? So
Yeah. So I'm just doing for two. Let's see.
yeah, that is okay. Yeah.
So let's just reload it again.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's showing me all. If I select HR, it's showing me just two. Now if I
Yes.
select journal, it's showing me just two, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
if I will select journal, it
General, it
might be
will
a,
show.
yeah, because that code we
Mm-hmm.
last for last one we didn't
Right, right,
corrected the
right,
code.
right, right,
Okay.
right, right.
So now this is how
Hmm.
you add option, remove option. Now coming to performance part.
Hmm.
I said try to write a good code. Now what I written here to get the value of the field which is changing. G underscore form dot
That.
get value and the field name, right? I am running a
Hmm.
command every time. Isn't you
Hmm.
think is unnecessary? Is
Yeah,
there
we can
any
store it
way?
in a variable, right?
No, again then unnecessary. Is there any way I get this value readily instead of running this function?
Mm.
I explained you new value,
Okay.
right? Whatever user select, new value comes under new value object. I can
Oh,
avoid running one extra command.
okay.
So try to utilize the resources which are provided.
Okay. G underscore form. Okay. Instead of running that command, we can directly use this new value.
Hmm.
Okay, okay,
Now if I will save, still my code will run in similar manner.
Hmm.
So that is where performance comes. That is where best practices come. There are two ways
Right.
for doing the same
Hmm.
thing.
Hmm.
Now if I will select HR, it will show me just HR. If I will select IT, it will show me just IT. Right?
Hmm.
Code is working similarly. Functionality is same. Just I change something which is more inbuilt in the system or which is less performance impact. Now another
So,
thing. Yeah, go ahead.
hmm. Yeah, if we have this too many lines of scripting, so if we have that performance issue, so what will happen? The system will run very slowly, right?
It will not run slow at like that much of a scripting level because ServiceNow has created it kinds of lot of performance tuning and all those things. But yeah,
Hmm.
it's recommended try to avoid. But
But what
obviously,
can happen? I mean, what worst can
yeah,
happen?
if you will run that much of codes, then yes, obviously your system will be slow by the
Okay,
time.
okay, okay.
Now, did you observe one thing?
Hmm.
When first time form is loaded, all six are available. Is it correct?
No.
No, right? What I can do, I can select, let's say, headphone, and then I can select HR. But anyways, that will go, but that is not a good user experience, right?
Hmm.
Because first you are showing all, and user may
Yeah.
complain, I have selected vacation, and as soon as I selected journal, sorry,
Uh-huh.
IT, this is gone now. I am not able to create that form. Getting my point?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So that means what I should do? I should remove all the choices when form is getting loaded.
Okay. Okay.
That means to remove the choices when the form is getting loaded means before it is presented to the user. So that means I need to
Hmm.
write a onload client script to remove all the
Yes.
choices for the first time.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
why ServiceNow has provided onload as well as on-change feature and on-change script, because you need to run this code on on-change, but you now need to run it on onload as well. Now you can run it on
Okay.
onload. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So what I will do if,
So if we need to run onload, we just remove that is loading.
and I also need to write here what I need to run on onload now. I need to remove all 6 choices, right?
Yes.
So I will have to tell the system what you need to run on onload.
Okay.
I don't want to run this unnecessary code. Let's say if I will not tell system like what you need to run, it will try to run this code as well. But if I will tell the system below code is only when form is not loading, means I will say here not loading.
Then it will go into this loop, right?
Where is the problems? Okay. So what I am saying to the system, when form is not loading, that means when there is an on change event happening, run this code. And when form is loading, just run this code, means just remove all the choices.
2 more lines we need to write now.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
What was there? Cancel this with this. We got, I guess. See, there are two things. Either we write this not condition for the previous code, like for this code, or we leave it as it is. What will happen when the form will be loading? This will run, but this will also run. Although it will not do anything, but system will run.
And
Why?
performance issue.
Yeah, why it will not do anything? Because here, when the form will be getting loaded, what will be the type? None.
None.
And there is no condition for none. Do you see?
Yes.
So it will not do anything, but unnecessary code will run with all these lines.
Okay. So best practice is always write is not loading, even if we don't have that use case, right? So
See, that's what I'm just giving you the scenario. It might not be possible everywhere. I'm just trying to give you what all possible things can be there.
right. No, what I'm saying is even if suppose we don't write this is loading if loop, and the one which we had written before. So in that case also we could write
No,
if not.
but
No.
in that case we were restricting it here only, right?
Okay, if loading then value return
Yeah,
was going, right?
we were restricting. Now we have removed from here, means we are not restricting it here. That means it will come down.
Okay, got it.
Now if I will try to reload it,
Yeah, it's not showing. Still showing.
It's showing.
Maybe some brackets did not come.
What is the problem? If is loading, then you remove option this, subtitle this. Okay, it's going inside this. So I can check whether my code even going inside the loop or not.
Not
It's not
going.
going inside the loop. So it's saying on change. If I'm saying if is loading, okay. See now why it is not going? Because what is the new value? None. And what is here? If new value is
It
equal to none, return.
it's not going inside. Yeah.
So I need to remove this.
Okay.
See, now it's
Hmm.
going inside the loop. Choices are gone. Now
Then
if
why
you,
did we write it at first go? If new
we didn't
manifest.
write it. It is by default, right? It comes by default.
Oh, okay, okay.
So now if I will select HR, two choices. If I select IT,
Yeah,
two choices. Okay.
yeah, I got it.
We achieved something. Now, didn't you see we can achieve this by another way as well?
What is?
So we can remove
Uh,
this. We can remove this. We can remove
mm-hmm,
this. And whole code we can write here.
mm-hmm.
What exactly we are doing? If we analyze the situation, like that was also not wrong, but if we analyze the situation, what is happening? At the time of
Mm-hmm.
load, what is this particular value? Like request type is
None, none,
none.
none.
So what we are telling to the code, if HR, then do this. If IT, then do this. Then if HR, then do this. What can be the last option? User can select
None, none.
none, nothing else, right?
Hmm.
He is allowed to select only four.
Yes,
He cannot select fifth. So we have covered all
yes.
four. We are saying if HR do this, IT do this, general do this. And for the else means what is else? If we go precise, else is
None, none,
none,
none.
right? So there is another thing which you can again cover.
Okay, okay, okay,
And
okay.
this particular code is much better because let's say user have selected HR, user has selected IT, and then user again selected none. He cannot see anything. But what was previously happening? He is selecting like HR, then he select this, and then he select none. This was like there was some choices used to come.
Okay, okay, okay.
Now this code become kind of more kind of good and all those things. So see
Right,
how
right.
we progressed from where we progressed and where we are.
Yeah.
Getting my point? So this is
Yes, yes.
where you need to think. There could be multiple way, there could be multiple methods to write or achieve the same output, but what you need to write, you need to think.
Right, got it. And you were saying that we can achieve it without client script also, this
Yeah. So
functionality.
let me just. So I was just. This is a good example to see this all functions
Yeah.
and all feature. That's why I took. But
Mhm.
means these things you may come and arise in different situation where you cannot apply what I am going to tell you now.
Mm-hmm.
Now you see this and this. There is a
Mm-hmm.
concept of dependent value. Configure dictionary.
Okay.
If you will go, I think uh, when I am
Dependent value, yeah, there it is.
dependent field should also be there. Means I need to go to advanced. Yeah. So here you once you will go to the advanced, you will see use dependent field, and then I can
Mm-hmm.
select to which particular field it will be dependent. So I will say request
Okay.
type where it is request type, and I will save it.
Mm-hmm.
But still it will not work. Still we are left with configuration.
Mm.
So still you can see all six. Now what you need to do, you need to go to each choice. As you have defined the dependent field, now you have to
Mm-hmm.
define the dependent value against each. So these choices should come when HR is selected in dependent field. That is request type. If
So is it not an easier way and the recommended practice instead of
yes, it's
writing?
easier and recommended. That's what I say. There are multiple things to do the exam, but
Hmm.
maybe every time you will not be able to do this. Sometimes you may need to write a client script.
Okay. Okay.
So as you are learning scripts, that's why we took that first.
Yeah. 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 But if suppose requirement come like this, so we should use this
Yes, use
approach.
this one.
Okay.
IT, and then here we will put.
General.
That's why you need to be aware with the system. You need to know the things which are available in the
Hmm.
system before writing. See, that is the first thing which will come in your mind. Like remove, if you
Hmm.
know the scripting, remove option, add option.
Hmm.
But there is an alternative always.
Hmm.
Now it's gone.
Hmm.
Let HR. What is happening? See, two are there.
Hmm.
HR, two are there.
Then,
Journal, two are there.
hmm.
See, if you know the scripting, first thing in your mind might come, and if you don't know the dependent value concept, you will
Hmm.
try to achieve through this one only.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
See, but in this case you can achieve. But here, let's say if you select ITI, this change request, then these options would go away. Here, you will not be able to achieve this. Getting my point? So that's what I'm
Where?
saying. Everywhere you will not be able to achieve this. Like
Okay.
if you select a change request, then like
Hmm.
maybe it might not be valid requirement. Here you can select either change, problem, incident, everything, right?
Hmm.
PRV. Now they may say like if user selects the PRV, then like problem required in parent, then these two choices should come. In this case, you cannot make dependent.
Because that is a record.
Yeah, that is a record. You need to check the class. Then only you can. How you will come to know like whether this is a problem or a change or this. You need to get the class of this record. In which table this is there, right? Task type.
Hmm.
You need
Hmm.
to.
Hmm.
There is no direct linkage. If X is
Direct
selected
relation.
there,
Okay. Hmm.
here see, even if you will make the linkage, like if user
Hmm.
selected chg 234000, then show these choices. Getting my
Hmm.
point?
Hmm.
But by that, how many changes you will give in the dependent value?
Yeah. 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 That is dynamic, right?
That is
It keeps on
dynamic.
changing.
Tomorrow there may
Hmm.
be new change get created, so you have to run this code by class. So whatever record is selected, check the table of that record and then accordingly display the value.
Okay. So this request type, since in this case we have done it because request type and sub request type belong to the same table.
not
Is it?
not same table, they are limited choices, right? You know what user
Acha.
can
Ha.
select,
Ha.
but
Ha.
here
Ha.
you
Ha.
don't know what user can select.
Okay. Okay. So it's like
Here
infinite.
it's kind of dynamic situation, like if user
Uh,
select change, then display vacation. If user select problem record, then display payroll. So when user will select what, and even here you can do just one to one mapping, right?
mm-hmm.
HR, one HR value. But here if you will try to do one to one mapping, you cannot do. There are multiple change record. How many change record you will map to against
Yes.
HR?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And if you will, let's say, put one change value you can put, but there could be another
Mm-hmm.
change,
Mm-hmm.
right?
But when even that would be happening in the case of scripting also. I mean, how will we?
No, in
Uh,
scripting we can get the class of record, right?
I mean, class means.
Table of record. We can put the condition
Oh,
of
okay.
on the table, like if the record selected belong to change table, if the record selected belong to incident table, right?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So any change will always go to change tribal. So that will be a
Yeah.
unique
Yeah.
thing always.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, next
Okay.
thing is
Hmm.
configure form layout. maybe to give you on submit might not be a valid case. So like here, what I will do, I will let me just first see this. Okay, so let's say my next requirement is, client says if logged in user try to submit HR type of, like if logged in user is an ITIL user, and if he tries to submit a request of HR type, he should not be allowed.
Okay.
And we want to give them message, it's a call to our service desk and submit the HR type request, all those things. See, there could be two possibilities. Either we can completely remove the HR choice, right? So it's not getting displayed to ITL user. Another way, client want, like, I want to get them displayed HR because they should know, yes, you can raise the HR, but we don't want to allow them submit HR. And we just want to give them an alert message. So now, for those cases, as we don't want to allow them, what we will do, we will write a on submit. Create.
These all scenarios we cannot achieve using business rule, right?
No, business rule also you can achieve, but that will kind of it will give you error once you will save it.
Okay.
Like you will try sometimes, if user see, like click submit and he leave the screen and he doesn't observe properly, he will not kind of come to know like his request is not submitted.
Okay.
Stop HR.
On submit.
And I will say, if what I need to do, I need to check if logged in user is ITL user. So what I
as
need
role.
to do, yes. So G
dot user or
underscore user dot has role and then ITL. If user
then it will
having ITL role,
it will go into the code.
And what we need to do, G underscore form dot get value of, or get value of request type. I will say equal to HR, then about the submission, return. So I'm saying if user is trying to submit, like if your ideal user is trying to submit HR type request, just don't allow. So basically,
Okay.
this script basically we use if it might not be a use case. You may achieve this with business rule as well, but
Mm-hmm.
this is I just wanted to give you a thing which like where you can use this when basically you need to avoid the submission. Like if user didn't fill the correct thing before
Yeah, yeah,
submitting,
yeah.
if user didn't did so before submission, you can stop. If user didn't provided correct information, so you have a option. So now if I will go and impersonate ITIL user,
So generally, this on submit is used for aborting. I mean, not
yeah,
allowing
mostly,
user to submit.
yes.
Okay.
Now if I will go and I will, it is auto populated. Now I will select I char and done this. Now if I will try to save, it's not submitted. See, it's not saved.
But we should give some message, right? Or that
Yes.
will come through alert.
Yeah. So we didn't write, so we can write here an alert. Or if we want to like give user confirmation, like client want before submitting, we want user to confirmation like you are about to submit a HR request. That could also be a case,
Mm,
right?
okay.
So we
Mm-hmm.
can like we don't want to avoid the submission. Let's say we just want to take confirmation of user before submitting. Like we
Okay,
want
okay.
user to make sure like they are sure they are raising a HR request. Confirm. I think it's the same syntax if I am remembering currently correctly.
So that will also an alert confirm.
Yeah.
So, but that depends on the requirement, right? If they're allowing
Yes.
to send,
Yes.
yeah. If they want to abort, then they will say return false, right?
Hmm. You are about to submit HR request. So let's say by mistakenly user has selected, or maybe any case could be there.
Mm-hmm.
So it all depends customer to customer. It all varies customer to customer,
Yeah.
and vary use case to use case as well.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's say I select HR and this. If I try to save it, see,
But you still be able to say
yes.
submit it, right?
If you will select OK, then submit it. If you will select cancel, it will not submit.
Because we remove that return false. Otherwise, it
No,
won't allow, right?
this is a feature of cancel itself. Right?
Mm. Return false, right?
Yeah, confirm is something like if you will select confirm, then it will uh, if you will click OK, then it will submit. If you will
Okay.
cancel, then it will not submit. This is the kind of feature of confirm function itself.
So it is also showing an alert confirm function.
Yeah, confirm gives you alert. Confirm is basically ask your confirmation. Are you sure you
Okay,
want to
okay.
submit or not? It still means
Mhm.
client is giving you one option. It still just check whether you are sure or not before submitting. So if you will click OK, the request will get submitted. If you will
Mhm.
click cancel, the request will not submit.
Okay.
So like if I select here again, like previously I selected cancel. Sorry, OK. That's why it created a request. But if I select
Mhm.
cancel, see, if I will save, it is giving me option to confirm either you want to submit or not. If you want to submit, then click OK. If you don't, still you have option. It is not submitted in database, so you can cancel it. It's not submitted.
Mhm.
Got it? Or any doubt you have?
Yeah, yeah, got it. So for aborting purposes, we can use this
Aborting or
on
taking user confirmation before submission, all those kind of use cases you can achieve through on submit.